Hello guys, welcome to Smiles and Cries. Now I know you're not afraid of a little dark because you are the dark. So in this film we see FBI agent Lee Harker, a gifted new recruit who is assigned to the unsolved case of an elusive serial killer, the one and only Longlegs, the latest movie in the resurgence of Nicolas Cage. This serial killer is committing shocking crimes and this federal agent seeks to uncover him. Whilst investigating the case, and as it begins, things start to twist and turn and she begins to unearth the evidence of the occult, and then as Harker discovers a personal connection to the merciless killer, there is a race against time to stop him before he claims the lives of another innocent family. So this little fella has all the trappings and trimmings of a clever little horror film. For me, absolutely bloody not. An unpopular opinion maybe, but I stand firm and resolute with this assessment. So ready up, here we go. So this film Longlegs just drags and plods along in so many ways that are unnecessary to add to the tension. I just remember sitting there in the cinema and all throughout the film just hoping, praying for that one moment of redemption, the X Factor moment, thinking there's got to be something in this film that is driving all of these positive reviews that I keep reading about. There's got to be something behind the wizard's curtain. Losing all connection with the character. And then we have the FBI. Oh yes, the FBI. Their actions are just completely and utterly unrealistic. If I was watching Legs at home, I would have turned it off and stood out in the rain and cried for having been tempted to watch it in the first place as the hype train sucked me in, and then I would have composed myself and watched something else. But as I was in the cinema, I had to endure it, and whilst watching it, there was a scene when Longlegs was smashing his own head on the table repeatedly, which is exactly what I was doing in the cinema when watching this utter garbage, except the usher told me to stop as I was making too much noise and it was putting people off. But you catch my drift. Let me in now and it can be nice. Make me go now and I'll have to come back. Not once, not twice, but as many times as I like. No, don't come back. Scary. In fact, your legs are not even long. They're slightly above normal size. The scariest film of the decade, the whole year, and one that will have you petrified at every turn. Did the other reviewers see the same movie I just saw? I'm not at all even sure if this is meant to be a demonic horror film or a serial killer thriller, and this one really is a slow burn psychological thriller, inverted commas. I was even running out of matchsticks to keep my eyes open in the cinema at times. Such was the drag. That was highly tedious and insufferable, not tense. I was screaming inwardly, will you just get on with the pacing, so many times that I do not care to remember, and that exemplified it all to me. Like I say, this film was so overhyped, marketed by influencers, that when I went in, I was convinced I'd be seeing a movie completely different to the version that I saw. And that is the most disappointing thing about this whole debacle. To finish, I will say that this is not the ultimate creepy, scary horror fright fest that it was so hyped up and made out to be. Silence of the Lambs and this film should never, ever be uttered in the same sentence. Oops, just done it. As I've been hearing, what twaddle. Watch this film to join the club, but tone down your expectations of all of the hype beforehand, and you will get a bit more out of the experience as a standalone, not an overhyped film, than others who will have been swept away with the dark, mysterious, scary, unsettling psychological thriller that this film purports to be. I did not like this film. It felt like a whole bunch of nothing, and this is one of the worst movies I've seen in years. But hey, that's just my 2 pennies worth. Watch the film, let me know what you think. Cheers.